Okay, so yesterday we had big news about GTA 6, which please check out the video if you have not seen it. Please be sure to like and comment and share the videos. It really helps out smaller creators like myself. I do appreciate it, guys. We've got some more gaming related news today. It's tangentially related to GTA 6 because Sony, of course, has said that the PlayStation is going to be the best place to play Grand Theft Auto. That, of course, was a subjective matter until, well, this news right here. We have updated Xbox console prices, guys. Xbox is updating their prices. Are they going to be possibly reducing the prices in order to try to sell more consoles for Grand Theft Auto 6? Well, no, that's not what's happening. Obviously, guys, let's be serious here. Effective August 1st, 2026, we will be updating prices worldwide. The price of Xbox consoles will increase by $100 US for 512 gigabyte models and $150 for 1 terabyte models. We will also be sunsetting our 2 terabyte model. No more Galaxy Purple, whatever it was, 2 terabyte Xbox that was costing $800, unfortunately. Wah, wah. Last October, we increased Xbox console prices by $20 to $70 in the US. We hoped another price increase would not be necessary, and we had spent the last several months working with suppliers on options. Unfortunately, console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. So they're warning us right now, this ain't going to be it, Chief. There's going to be more coming. So it seems like back in the day with video game consoles, when a new video game console comes out, the company, announces the console and they announce a price point for it. You got the famous Sega Saturn announcement at E3 where they announced $399, and then Sony just came up on stage, said $299 US and left. And that was all she wrote for that console generation. Nobody talks about Sega consoles anymore, partly because of that very short press conference that Sony had for the PlayStation. And then prices came down over time. Nowadays, they go up over time, which you'd think, yeah, there's inflation, but no, there's a lot more factors, obviously. Things are absolutely insane. The entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current components crisis, but the effects are particularly hard on consoles. Unlike phones, computers, speakers, and other consumer devices, consoles are typically not sold at a profit, but instead for less than they cost to make. So we're going to go into the actual price breakdown, how that's going to actually look, depending on the individual SKUs that are going to still be available. But they're going to be offering a buy now, pay later option. So you're going to have the good old Klarna and all that good stuff, Affirm, something like that. Funny enough, my Series X, they used to have a program for the Xbox Series X and S where you were able to purchase the console for a monthly fee, and it came with Game Pass. You had a 2-year commitment and included the Game Pass Ultimate, which at that time was $15 a month, and then, the console. And I think it ended up being like $35 a month or something like that for me for 2 years. Bear in mind, this was back when the Series X was $499 US. That was the retail price. Now you factor in $15 for Game Pass, and then, I'm paying actually $35 because of this program. That comes out to $20 a month for the console for 2 years. It was actually $480 after the 2 years. And I kept the console. Like, I still have the console here. And that was the end of it. So I actually saved $20 by doing that kind of program. That was like a special program specifically through Xbox. I think they participated with a few retailers. I think I did it through Walmart's website. So I actually got the console shipped by Walmart, but it came with that 2-year Game Pass code that was included with all that. So they're going to be offering that. They're going to be offering the interest-free 12-month 0% APR. Previously played consoles. They're going to try to offer some more refurbished and used consoles as well to make things a little more affordable. I wish they would offer that program again, the one I was talking about, although who knows how much it would cost a month, considering Game Pass is really expensive, plus with how much the console prices have increased. I could see the same deal where I got it for like $35 a month over a 2-year commitment. It could be like $60 a month easily, just based on these price increases, which would be absolutely insane. So I don't know. But so what's that going to make that? I'm going to see if there's like an individual breakdown that's going to show that right here. So we got Xbox's page, and this is what they're showing here. The prices are going to be going up, as I said here, by $100 for 512 gigabyte models and $150 for 1 terabyte models. So let's look at the models they have currently so we can see what they've got. So they're going to be phasing out the 2 terabyte models. I imagine they're probably going to keep those at whatever the price is until they're sold out. So if they still somehow had inventory of these consoles starting August 1st, they're probably going to remain that price until they just sell out of the inventory, because they probably just stopped manufacturing them entirely, I'm sure. So let's take the cheapest model, which would be a Series S 512 gig. Currently, that's going for $399. So with this new pricing, that's going to go up to $499. So it's going to cost the same as the Switch 2 is going to cost in September. So, youch. Good old Series S. Even worse if you're going for the 1 terabyte, because that's $449.99 right now. And you're going to be looking at paying $600. These are all US prices, by the way. So I'm sure if you're like in a place where the currency is really jacked up right now, like Canada or Australia or something like that, I couldn't even imagine how much these price increases are going to be. So we got the Xbox Series X. There is not a 512 gig model of the Series X. It's just 1 and 2 terabyte. So it's going to be a little more simple to figure this one out. 1 terabyte Series X digital edition, that's going to run you $749. $749 for the digital edition. That's without the disk drive, which if you're getting GTA 6, apparently you're not even going to need a disk drive anyway. You don't have to worry about it because it's not going to come on a disk. Although some people are saying there's rumors that there's going to be a physical disc copy in December. I don't know. That's still just a rumor. And then if you want the one with the disc drive so you can play your disc-based games, play your movies and all that good stuff, you're looking at $800. So again, we're coming to the situation where that's going to be $100 less than the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's going to cost, $150 more? Yeah, because they were at the same price previously. $150 more than the PS5 disc bundle, or $200 more than the digital. So, at least for the time being, it sounds like PlayStation's going to be the place to play, right? Until Sony does it. Do you think Sony's not going to increase the prices, guys? They'll have to. This is a problem that every company is facing. Now, they might have possibly source more parts than Microsoft because they're selling more consoles and they're actually buying more parts. So they might be able to escape it for a little while. But Sony is going to increase the prices before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. I can assure you of that. That is going to happen. Are they going to do this similar thing where they're going to be offering like financing models? Like that's what we're getting to now at this point. Back in the day, like if you wanted, back in the day had this little thing called layaway. I don't know if you kids remember this here. Back in the day, when you went to a retail shop, you didn't have all of the money at once, but you wanted a product. You could do this thing called layaway where you usually put some purchase down. Like you put some kind of money down for them to hold the product for you until you can pay off the product in total. So you would come back to do payments and things like that and get the product. And they would basically house that product for you. They might charge you like a fee if you cancel the layaway or didn't pay it off after a certain time or whatever. But that was a way you could do this without paying like interest, without having to need like credit checks and all this good stuff. That was a way people did that. And this was back, by the way, when consoles were $200 or $300. People still did this layaway thing. Now we're getting $800, $900 consoles. Layaway is not a thing anymore because companies don't want to waste their storage capacity to have a product sit in the back for who knows how many weeks or months, not moving, not making any money. They want to use as much inventory as possible, their inventory space, in order to make as much money as possible. That's why layaway's gone, by the way. They can make a bunch of money off these interest programs. The companies often have their own take in the slice. Microsoft is going to have that, obviously. Of course, if you do the 0% APR and you're a good buddy boy, you're responsible with your money, you don't have any issues, and you successfully pay it off within that time, great. You're not going to pay anything extra. That's awesome. They're banking on the fact that some people are not going to be in that situation. And they're going to be making a bunch of money in fees and interest and stuff like that, on top of already making a killing on the consoles. Now, it's undeniable, of course, that these companies are subsidizing the consoles to a degree, but this is like a way they can like make extra money off of you at the same time. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But that is the new reality. I keep having to bring this up, but this is just points back to that video I did about 2026 gaming retail is going to be hell. This is just another example. So Microsoft's turn again. This is literally their third time that they have increased the console prices. They did it twice last year, back in May and October. And now they've got another one cooking up in August. Now, I mean, the component prices have been crazy. You've seen the Steam Deck prices, which, of course, I talked about the whole Steam Deck thing, how absolutely insane that is. They're obviously not subsidizing their stuff, unlike Microsoft. So that's something to keep in mind. But absolutely insane. So now it's like the race to own a console. And if you don't make it, well, better luck next time, I guess. Hope for the next generation of consoles to come out starting at like $1,500, and if somebody's want to sell their old console, then you can play GTA 6 finally. So that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the most recent video that I did that's right above my head. And of course, in the other corner, the algorithm's going to recommend something that it thinks you'll like. Hopefully you do. And of course, be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like I said, like and share and comment all that good stuff. And appreciate y'all. Y'all have the last line. This is the last line.